bonus track, episode 3, season 1 of An Accidental Futurist, brought to you by Olmsted Tree, Pelham, New York. Oh man, did I get my fucking hat dirty?
In 600 feet, turn left onto 2nd Avenue.
I just remembered something I said reminded me.
Turn left onto 2nd Avenue, then turn right to stay on 2nd Avenue.
It was February 11th, 2018 that I published the Cindy Project. And I jumped the shark that day. That's the day I jumped the shark. And that's all led to today, where I'm going to Adeo Resi, or Gregory, as he's called in Dave Eggers' book, The Every. And God willing, you're watching these episodes in order, because as crazy as it is to live with me, Macaulay said, I said, Macaulay, did you see my new podcast? It's called Driving with an Accidental Futurist. I'm talking about my thoughts while I'm in the car because the microphone that I'm using is best in the car. And she goes, Charles, I'm living your podcast. Why would I want to relive it on YouTube? I said, no, it's available on Apple Podcasts and anywhere you get your podcast. How awesome is she? Yeah, it was February 11th, 2018 that she and I sat at the dining room table at our apartment in New York and said, don't make another movie, don't make another escape room, don't do take another teaching gig or whatever. Do this. Do this. And here we are 7 years later, assessing, thinking, talking in person after what, I guess, if you look at it from like a patent point of view, is an obvious conclusion that post-pandemic, check yourself before you wreck yourself would be a phrase that even if Grandmaster Flash or Ice Cube or Cody Leroy, sorry Gen Z, I can't care. But I know where the phrase came from and I know where the riff came from, and check yourself before you wreck yourself, because there's broken glass everywhere. So February 11th, 2019, 2020. February 11th, 2020 was when I signed up for Founder Institute. 2021, February 11th, 2021 was when I went up to Pounds and Transformation and confronted sustainable weight loss and insulin resistance and carb windows and thresholds and the magic pill, and the food is the medicine, using Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself, now available on the App Store and Google Play. February 11th, 2022. Whatever happened that day led to August 11th, 2022, when I got in a car with Ruben Steiger and drove to the Redwood Forest, where I camped with 1,000 of the most interesting, unconference, decentralized web Silicon Valley acronym war joust mates that I've ever met. And also Did the funding lab with Jeremy. Did the health tech accelerator with Dominique. Did the funding lab with Mike. And then obviously got in the car with some of the most interesting people I met in the Redwood Forest at the Internet Archive camping trip and went to Burning Man. And that's when I involuntarily had my defibrillator put in. And of course, it's wildly inappropriate to correlate that to forced sterilization and, you know, women having IUDs put inside of them against their will, or any of that kind of population control or gentrification or redlining or whatever you want to call it. But it feels invasive. And as a dude, it's probably the best that I can, I don't know, understand about how those women feel when they come off of the metal slab to the cheers of the people whose job it is to save you. But just because they have a job doesn't mean that the medical merry-go-round and diagnostic words like diabetes in order to align it with some sort of a CPT code to figure out whether I should have my continuous glucose monitor paid for or whether I should pay full price for it. Fuck off. You don't know shit. And I don't know shit. But if you're still listening to episode 3, season 1 of Driving with an Accidental Futurist, you just helped me figure out the inflection point when I jumped the shark. And the accident began.